Hey guys, we're going to cover the new patch notes that was just released for the new update coming, Sun Wukong. Also, if you're wondering why Sun Wukong hasn't been released yet, they gave us an update today stating that there are a lot of bugs in this patch they're still trying to work out, so they don't have an exact date when it's expected, but I do believe we might get him later this week, or if lucky, next week, who knows. But right now I'm going to give you guys all the information that they gave us with the patch notes. So obviously the new god coming is Sun Wukong himself, and their description of him is as follows. The playful trickster of legend uses his staff and speed to take the fight to his enemies and leave them no room to breathe, capable alone or as part of a team, even more so when his clone is on the field. I love that whole rhyme and rhythm thing they got going. Now we're going to cover his abilities. So for his first ability, it's called 72 transformations. Sun Wukong transforms into an animal and dashes forward. If used on the ground, he becomes a tiger, and if used in the air, he becomes an eagle. Refiring this ability to break out of the movement early and attack an opponent in rage. His next ability is called the Magic Curgel, which basically represents his staff. It states here the Sun Wukong extends his staff out to poke in front of him, increasing its size to cover a large distance and wide area. Hitting an enemy with the end of the staff will deal additional damage and knockback. He also has Dashing Strikes, becoming a blur of destruction. Sun Wukong performs 3 quick rolling attacks. The first 2 attacks hit knockback enemies a short distance, with a final spinning attack that knocks all enemies away. That's actually really cool. If you play League of Legends, you know that kind of spinning circle tornado thing he does at the end. It's pretty awesome. And for his ultimate ability, is called the Monkey Clone. Sun Wukong plucks a few strands of his hair to create a clone of himself that moves to attack the closest enemies, using only basic attacks. The ability can then be refired once to swap positions with your clones. I actually really like that swapping positions. Now if you'd like to see the animations for this, I'll link a video showcasing this in the description below. Now for this next part in the patch, we're talking about the new skins that are going to be added to the shop, and the first skin is Cyber Samurai Susuno. Now if you want to see a video showcasing how it looks, there's also going to be a video of that in the description below. And for Sun Wukong himself, he's getting a really funny skin. It's called the First Primate Sun Wukong skin. It's actually pretty funny, kind of giving him that pirate theme. I actually like it. Now another aspect of the patch is we're going to get new 1v1/2v2 maps, which is actually called the Scuttle Boat Scuffle. Now if you know me, I love my 1v1 and 2v2, and I've been asking for new maps for 1v1 for a while now, so I'm super happy right now. So this is the brief description that they gave. Duke it out beneath the red sky in this spacious arena, where the key to victory lies in controlling the high ground. Make your opponents see that there is not enough room to go around for the best fishing spots in the east. I actually really love it. This picture right here is basically what it is, and I'm actually excited to see how it's going to be when added to the rotation. So another new feature coming in is the daily login rewards. So we're going to be able to receive bonus rewards for logging in daily, including extra boosters, ruins, stars, even a cosmetic. Now I'm not going to lie to you, I'm actually happy for the boosters, because getting to level 20 is very difficult even if you play a lot of games. Those last 2 levels are so much experience. So another new feature coming in is bots in custom games. Players can now add bots in their custom games. Add any specific god to test your skill against your biggest nemesis on any map. That's actually a pretty nice feature for people who like to train. Another thing here is called the character select changes. Players are now able to change skins during the character selection screen. This right here is a must have. Players have a few seconds less to select their gods, but more time to choose the right talent loadouts. Players also now don't see their opponent's god before everyone is locked in. That's actually quite a very interesting change right there. But honestly, out of all the changes I just read, I think the ability to choose your skins and loadout is one of the best features. That's something that was needed from the beginning, and I'm glad they're actually adding it. Now next, we're going to get some oddball changes. So it says here, when invulnerable, players with oddball will not gain points. That's a very drastic change, as I know I've done that a lot of times to win some matches. So not be able to get points when invulnerable is going to cause a lot of teams to actually struggle for points now. Another thing is that when you hold the oddball, players can no longer use their movement abilities. That right there is so big. The whole oddball change is going to change the meta completely. Now we have another set of changes coming up here called the quality of life changes. Now double look sensitivity range on controllers added a button to snap the camera to characters facing direction. That's quite interesting to see how it's going to be. I'm guessing it's mainly for console players, because for PC it doesn't seem like it's a big deal. Okay, so we're going to talk about some god balance changes now, and the first god we're talking about is Amaterasu. So it's stated here that they're reducing the charge rate of Amaterasu's ultimate to balance out its higher efficiency and combo potential, which is actually very good. I think Amaterasu's a little broken at times, so this is going to help a lot of players, but we'll really see how this plays out in the match. So the ultimate charge rate is reduced by 14%. So again, we're going to see how this plays in game when the patch releases. The next character up is Arthur. Now Arthur, I think, needs a big buff. He's one of the best characters, but at the same time, he's just not as powerful or strong. So the Divine Knockout team stated that Arthur is not faring as well as we like in some fights, so we're reducing 2 of his ability cooldowns to bring them closer to the other gods. Additionally, his ultimate charge rate has been increased. This gives him more chances to make an impact in the round. I fully agree with both of these changes. So for Soaring Edge, the cooldown was now reduced to 16 seconds, it was 18. For Blinding Light, it's now reduced to 16 seconds when it was 18, and Might of Excalibur, his massive ultimate, is increased ultimate charge by 9%. So we're going to see how this does in game when the patch releases, but at the same time, I think he does need a lot more to make him fully effective against some of the other gods. Now the next god here is Susanoo, the one everybody wants to hear. Is he getting nerfed again or is he getting buffed? We're about to find out. So they stated here that Susanoo's air attacks were too efficient. So true. We reduced his ability to track targets in the air. This will be more noticeable against a player who dodges away from Susanoo. This right here, they said that and they noticed it, which is very good because Susanoo's air Beyblade spin is one of the most annoying things ever. So his air light vertical targeting range is reduced to 2.5 to 4 meters from 3.5 to 5 meters. That's good. It's a nice small change. They may have to reduce that a little more, but again, we'll see how it does in game. His air heavy reduced air heavy warp range to 6 meters. It was 8 meters. I think that one there is pretty fair, and we're about to find out how that does. I think it's pretty safe to say we all know how annoying that Beyblade spin could be for Susanoo. So the next character we're going to be talking about here is Thanatos, one of my favorite characters. So they say here that Thanatos' unyielding talent was overly strong in duels because it allowed players to maintain the damage buff while targeting and hitting the same target. So, unyielding damage increase is reset if Thanatos hits an enemy with an ability. It doesn't really change too much, so it's not really a big change to Thanatos, just a small change. Plus, I don't really use that too much, so it's fine for me. Okay, so the next up here, we got Thor. The Divine Knockout team stated that we found that Thor's air-heavy attack did not match the visuals, so we increased the time that the hitbox is present, and added a horizontal warp that was previously missing. Furthermore to that, we've looked at his talent to make the capacitor's effect more consistent and have adjusted the starting loadout to improve his viability for players using him for the first time. So for his air heavy, they increased the time hitbox is active on air heavy by 30%. Added a 4.5 warp distance from 0 warp distance before. Now for his talent capacitor, Thor now gains 5% ultimate charge for the first player it hits, and then 2% per additional enemy hit, changed from 3.5% gain on hit. It also states that they're swapping some talents for his default loadout. So Face the Hammer is now swapped with Crashing Down for his default loadout, which is going to make a lot of the new Thor players a little more interesting to face, I believe. Next up here, we got some bug fixes. So they said they've fixed about 100 bugs since the last build. Here are some of the highlighted bugs. So they fixed the bug that allowed some players to load earlier in the game. I didn't even know that was a bug, but that's actually crazy that it was. Okay, another bug they fixed was fixing a bug that was causing a bot remaining in game after a player rejoins. I've seen this actually happen and it's ridiculous. They also fixed the bug causing Oddball to not spawn when launching game mode. That is crazy. So what do you do if Oddball is not there? Now, those are just some of the bug fixes that I thought were worthy of announcing for the ones they told us. If you would like to read the rest or read this whole patch note in its full entirety, the link to that is going to be in the description down below for you guys. I'm going to link it in the comment section too, just in case you want an easier way to see it. Now, what I want to talk about now is something very important, that I'm super excited for this patch. Obviously, my main excitement comes from Sun Wukong being added to the game, but at the same time, they did announce a lot of different things here that I'm actually looking forward to, as it's going to change the way I look at the game and a lot of new players interact with the game on a whole. So with that being said, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.